Section 2. Video 14. Lists and Keys Part 1. We have three main objectives in this video. 1. We will demonstrate how to map over an array of elements and render them. 2. We will show that a key is necessary when rendering a list of elements. 3. We will show that if a stable and unique ID is not available as a key, then we can use the array item index, as a last resort. Before we start, let's clear the files created in the previous video. In JavaScript, you can map over an array to return a new array with the result of each element transformed by a function. Let's start with an array of numbers. Now, we will map over the array, and multiply each element by 2. Assign the resulting array to a variable, and print it to the console. In React, transforming arrays into lists of elements is nearly identical. You can build collections of elements and include them within a JSX container. We will show you an example. First, we will import React and React DOM. Now, let's create an array of list items. First, we will remove the console log. We will call the mapped array list items. Instead of doubling each number, we will wrap each number in a list item tag. Now, we can render the list items to the DOM, within two unordered list tags. You can now see the bullet point list of numbers on the page. Usually, you would render lists inside a component. We can refactor the previous example into a component that accepts an array of numbers, and outputs a list of elements. We will create a number list component, which has the numbers array as a prop. We will destructure the numbers array from props. Now, we will return the list items, wrapped in an unordered list. We will render the number list to the DOM. We are given a warning that a key should be provided, for the list items. A key is a special string attribute, that you need to include when creating lists of elements. Let's assign a key to our list items, to fix the missing key issue. The warning no longer appears in the console. Keys help React identify which items have changed, have been added, or have been removed. Keys should be given to the elements inside the array, in order to give the elements a stable identity. Let's say we have a list of to-do items. We will amend our numbers array to be a to-dos array. Each to-do item will be an object, with an ID field, and a text field. We will add 3 example to-do items, our first being Learn React, with an ID of 1. Our second to-do will be Wash Dishes with an ID of 2. And, our third to-do will be Make Bed with an ID of 3. Next, we will rename Number List to To-Do List. We will pass the to-dos as a prop. Our array item variable will be renamed from num to to-do. We will render the text of the to-do in our list item. The best way to pick a key is to use a string that uniquely identifies a list item among its siblings. In our example, we have a unique string ID on each of our to-do items. We can now see our to-dos on the page in the browser, with no warnings showing in the console. Let's assume our to-dos had no IDs, just text items in the array. When we don't have stable IDs for rendered items, we may use the item index as a key, as a last resort. Index is the second optional argument to the transformation function of the array map method. Let's not forget to remove the text property on the to-do item. Save the file, and we can see that there are no warnings appearing in the console. We don't recommend using indexes for keys if the order of items may change. This can negatively impact performance and may cause issues with component state. If you choose not to assign an explicit key to list items, then React will default to using indexes as keys. To summarize, we demonstrated how to map over an array of elements and render them. We showed that a key is necessary when rendering a list of elements. And, we showed that if a stable and unique ID is not available as a key, then we can use the array item index, as a last resort. In the next video, we will continue to discuss rendering lists of elements and using keys.